Shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Wahawakakwadash, Yahweh, which is the one and only true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai, who the world eagerly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and true name is Yahushai. I would like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I've learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah from the servants of Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much this lesson is going to be titled as, you know, you are to study to show yourself approved. All right. And this is going to also go into diligence as well. All right. This is also going into diligence. And this is also going into study to show yourself approved. All right, and one thing that you gotta understand is when you come into this truth, all right, you are to grow in this truth. All right, you are to grow in this truth. All right, brothers cannot hold your hand in this truth. All right, we can't hold no one's hands in this truth. All right, you are to grow, and you are to study to show yourself approved, because you are responsible for your own salvation. All right, and this is just a quick, edification to brothers that's in this truth. All right, you have to, you are responsible for your own salvation. No brother can hold your hand in this truth. Now, brothers, do sharpen swords, and study, and fellowship with brothers, absolutely. But you got to be willing to do your own studying at times. All right, you have to study to show yourself approved. And that's what this is about. All right. Not just being under brothers and, just thinking to yourself, well, I got these brothers, I don't have to study. No, you want to study because you are to grow in this truth. You don't want to be sluggard or lukewarm. So this is just a quick edification to you brothers out there, Lord willing, that's edifying. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 15. 2 Timothy 2 and 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Bashim Shai. Right. You have to show yourself. You have to study to show yourself approved unto Yahweh Bashim Shai. Why? Because you individually are working out your own salvation. No brother can save you in this truth. All right. No brother can save me in this truth. I have to study to show myself approved. All right. So you just because you're in the truth and you're around brothers, that don't mean because you're under brothers that you're protected and that you don't have to do no studying. No, you have to study. You have to study. All right? Brothers can help you, brothers can, fellowship with you, but you got to be willing to do your part because you are working out your own salvation. All right? So you have to study to show yourself individually, all right, approved unto Yahweh Bashim Shai. It says, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And by doing that is to what? Study to show yourself individually approved. All right? You have to study. All right? No brother is going to be holding your hand in this truth, especially if you a year and some change. You a year and some change in this truth, or even a year and up, 6 months and up. You're supposed to be studying to show yourself approved. All right. You're not supposed to be trying to, hold on to brothers' hands to help you help you to learn the truth. No, you have to grow individually. All right. You have to grow individually. Now, brothers are to help brothers, but brothers can't be holding other brothers' hands in this truth. That's not how it works. You have to do your own labors, your own studies, and you have to grow. That's the only way you're going to grow. 2 Peter 1 and 20. It says, wherefore rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling. See, your own calling. All right? Not a brother, you, and another individual together to do your diligence, or all one group to do their diligence. No, you individually. It says, wherefore rather, brothers, give diligence to make your calling. Not all together in one. No, your own calling. To make your calling and election sure. How are you going to make your own calling and election sure individually? Diligence. Studying yourself, to study thyself Studying thyself approved unto Yahweh Bashimashai. That's what diligence. Because you individually are working out your own salvation, or you should be working out your own salvation individually. Not just, trying to study together under brothers and not do your own separate studying, because you're supposed to do that too. It's like what Elder Apostle Gabar said. You got to be obsessed with this truth. Brothers can help you. Brothers can give you the tools, but you got to use those tools on your own, because you're working out your own salvation. All right? But ain't no holding hands in this thing. Ain't no holding brothers' hands, and I'm not holding nobody's hands. Brothers got to do their own studying. All right? If you have a problem doing your own studying, you need to ask the Lord to increase you in the wisdom. That means you have a low level of wisdom. Your spirit ain't strong. You don't have a strong spirit. All right? Just like what the elder said, there's no guidelines to help you understand the breakdowns and the truth. The Lord got to be dealing with you so you can have that proper understanding. The Lord got to be dealing with you. There's no cheat codes to the truth to help you have the understanding. The Lord got to be dealing with you. All right? The Lord has to be dealing with you. All right? Otherwise than that, it's a waste of time for you being in the truth. If you ain't able to do your own studying, that's a problem, because you should be able to do that. This is 2 Peter 1:10. It says, wherefore, rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling. See, you individually, make your calling and election sure. And how are you able to do that? With diligence. All right? Study to show thyself approved, tuning into the lessons, to the elders' apostle great millstone, taking notes, going over the scriptures, constantly going over them, rehearsing them, going over and 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 over. All right, it says, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Right, you should never fall. Why? Because you're making your callings and elections sure with diligence. You're studying to show thyself approved. All right, you're obtaining the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the elders and apostles of great millstone. You're building yourself up, because, hey, we all know that we're in the last days, absolutely. But while we're in these last days, we're growing. You should be growing. If you're not growing in the truth, then you should be worried, because that's a problem. You should be growing in this thing. Learning, growing, taking notes, building up, doing lessons, etc. James 1:22. It says, but be ye a doer of the word. See, you got to be a doer. It's easy to say shit, but doing it is what is the whole thing. It's easy to teach it, but you got to be living that. You can't just be teaching it and not living that, because now you're being a hypocrite. You're not following as what the scriptures command you to do. All right? You don't want to be a hearer, or just a speaker, but you're not doing what the scriptures is saying. You're speaking it, but you're not doing it. That's a problem. For you individually, it's a problem. James 1:22, it says, but be ye doers of the word. You got to be a doer. You got to be a doer of the word. You got to be studying to show thyself approved. All right? You can't just be under brothers and just expect brothers to hold your hand. No, you got to fucking go and learn. Do your own learning. I'm not saying go and do your own doctrine. I'm talking about teaching the same doctrine, but go and watch videos and do your own studying. It's okay to study as a group, but you got to do your own studying at times, because you got to study to show yourself individually. Study to show yourself approved unto the Lord, because you're the only one that's responsible for your own salvation. I'm not responsible for your salvation, or the brother next to me ain't responsible for your own salvation. The elders is not even responsible for our own salvation, because you individually have to work out your own salvation. Nobody can save you. All right? You are fighting for your own crown in this thing. All right? James 1:22, James chapter 1, verse 22. It says, be ye doers of the word. See, be a doer, not a hearer only, deceiving your own selves. Because you got jakes out there that's telling themselves they can't take notes, or they can't do this, they can't do that. No, you're deceiving yourself. You got to ask the Lord to, give you the spirit to have the proper, understanding, because that's how it works. The Lord is going to give you the understanding if he's truly dealing with you. And if you don't have that capability, then that's something you should probably pray about. You got to do your own studies. You got to study to show yourself approved. It's easy to quote it, but you got to do it. All right. Verse 23, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. Right. You got to be a doer in this thing. It's easy to speak something. All right. It's easy to be a hearer. It's easy to speak shit. But you got to be living what you're saying you're doing. What you're bringing out, you got to be living that. Because if you're not living that, then obviously you're not a doer of the word. You're not a man of the Lord. All right? You got to be doing what you be teaching or what you say. You got to be doing that. Verse 24, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, a straight way, forgetteth what manner of man he was. Verse 25, but whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, it says, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work. See? Doer of the work. You can't just be speaking the truth, but you're not living it. That's a hypocrite. You can't just be hearing the truth and not doing it. That's a hypocrite. So you don't want to do those things. You want to do the works. You want to do as what the scriptures instruct you to do. The scriptures say study to show thyself approved. You individually have to do your own studying. You have to do that. It's written in the scriptures. That's why the scriptures tells us, study to show ourselves approved. Because why? We're working out our own salvation. No brother is responsible for you working out your own salvation. All right? No brother's responsible for that. You are responsible because we are all each working out our own salvation. We can't hold on to your crown and hold on. I can't hold on to my own crown and hold on to another brother's crown. I can't do that. You have to hold on to your own crown. You have to do your own studying, your own studies, your own labors. You have to do that. It says, be a doer of the work. This man shall be blessed in his deeds. And that's what it's about. We're working out our own salvation in this truth. We don't have nobody to, get us to, to do things for us. We got to work out our own salvation. We can't have brothers do everything for us. I can't have no brother in GMS to do everything for me. They're going to look at me like I'm fucking crazy. You got to do your own works. All right? Don't teach your own doctrine. Teach the same doctrine as Great Millstone, but I got to do my own works. I got to do my own lessons. All right? I got to study to show myself approved. No brother's responsible for that but myself. I'm responsible for everything I do in this truth. All right? It's on me to do that. So it's the same thing for you. No brother can be holding your hand. You have to get off them fucking training wheels and you got to do your own studying. That's the whole point of being in this truth. Luke 14:23. It says, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and edges and compel them to come in that my house may be filled. And that's one thing we're doing. We have camp. We go out, teach. We fish for the elect. But that's all abiding in the work of the Lord. That's all doing the work of the Lord. Because that's what we're doing. We're doing the work of the Lord. The scriptures tells us to do that. 1 Corinthians 15:58. The scriptures tells us to do that. All right? Let's get it. This is 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unremovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. What is abounding in the work of the Lord? Studying to show thyself approved is abounding in the work of the Lord. All right? Constantly praying without ceasing. All right? Constantly staying focused on the truth, studying, building up. Continually staying focused in these scriptures. That's abounding in the work of the Lord. Measuring the times, diligent itself, continually staying focused in this truth. That's abounding in the work of the Lord. Setting up camp once a week. All right? Doing 3 videos every single day, man. All right? Getting yourself prepped. Repenting daily. Examining yourself. Being humble. Being consistent. Enduring through your afflictions. That's abounding in the work of the Lord. All right? It says, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain. Your labor is not in vain. And that goes in with studying to show thyself approved. That's also abounding in the work of the Lord. Studying to show yourself approved. All right? Not leaning upon another brother to hold your hand. You got to work out your own salvation. You have to do that. There's no ifs or ands or buts about that. There's no fucking, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, you're telling yourself that. You got to fucking do it. Excuse my French, but you got to do it. All right? Philippians 2:12. This is the main importance. Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not in my absence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's what you got to do. Studying to show thyself approved, you're working out your own salvation. Yes, that's going into diligence. All right? We can't hold your hand in this truth. I'm speaking for any brother out there. No brother can hold your hand in this truth. You got to fucking do your own studying. You're responsible for your own salvation. You're responsible for that. All right? You have to work out your own salvation. No brother can save you. All right? And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. Because I'm not applying this just to any particular brother. I'm just saying in general. You have to do your own shit. All right? You have to hold on to your own crown. Not the next brother holding your crown for you and holding your hand. We're not doing that. You got to fucking do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. This is Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Diligence. All right? Studying to show thyself approved. Being a doer of the work of the Lord. All these things apply into you, your own life, your own salvation. You have to do these things, man. So, hey, man, I'm not going to keep this long. It's simple. All right? No more being on the training wheels, man. You got to put off these training wheels. And you got to start doing your own studying. All right? Studying. No brother can hold your hand in this truth. All right? You have to work out your own salvation. So, Lord willing, that's edifying. You know, this hit my spirit. You know, and we gotta do the works, man. We gotta do our labors. All right? We gotta do our own labors, man. You know? So, hey, Lord willing, that's edifying. Until next time I say, shalom.